Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Alison. Thanks, TEKFARM, Farmers to Founders, and everyone that's organised today and having all these great companies on throughout the weeks. So I'll go to present my screen.
Yes.
If you can see it, so I'll try.
Yeah, I'll let you know what I'm seeing as we're doing it. Okay, something is launching. I can see a beautiful dashboard, Jock.
Fantastic. I see a farm with paddocks and stuff like that.
You can, yep. Go ahead.
All right, so I don't have the same. I actually can't see you guys anymore, but that's fine.
We're still here.
That's great. Well, I don't have a beautiful slide sheet as like Wendy did, but I'm going to talk to you straight into the product and sort of backstory on Mobble itself. So I'm Jock Lawrence. I'm the founder of Mobble, and we founded Mobble back in end of 2018 on my parents' family farm. This is actually the family farm here that Mobble was founded on. So basically back then we were looking for, well, my dad was basically looking for a central place where we have all these farm and livestock records. And at the time we didn't really find anything that really suited our operation. I think it was really flexible enough, wasn't simple enough, wasn't easy enough to use. Spreadsheets were clunky. And yeah, I decided that maybe there's something better that we could be doing to make, beautifully simple farm and livestock management software. Back then it was really basic, just a paddock and mob list, more or less. And since then it's evolved into a product that is a full farm and livestock management system or platform. Now we support about 3,000, we call them mobblers, farmers and their partners, who help manage about 13 million stock units across Australia, New Zealand, and some other parts of the globe where we're growing in as well. So it's come a long way in the last 5 to 6 years, and super keen to show you guys our progress over that time. We have a small team, about 11 of us, and our customer support is all over the place. So we're remote, just like Cyber Labs, and we have customer support in Victoria, Queensland, New South Wales, and New Zealand. That customer support is also, it's servicing everyone everywhere. So they're fantastic. We've got a helpline which is always on the go, so it's always someone at the end of the line to help out with farmers or partners with questions about Mobble. So I might just jump straight into our product and what it's about. So we have one product. It's a livestock farm management software. We're covering a few core things. So obviously things like livestock management is sort of like our bread and butter. So we're recording things like mob movements, recording things like animal health treatments and stuff like that. So when we talk about animal health treatments, we're diving into the world of things like compliance. So we're helping farmers comply with the LPA accreditation and other accreditation programs like RWS, EU accreditations for beef and all kinds of stuff. So we're recording things like animal health treatments on drench records, say, and paddock treatments on, say, spray records, and we have inventories on all these products that the farmers are using over time. So it's a great management tool to be recording this information anyway, and farmers record this information anyway, so they sort of automatically start complying with a lot of these records that they need to do for LPA, etc., which is awesome. There's a few core things where we're sort of recording on livestock. We're recording a full livestock reconciliation. So we're recording their natural increases, their casualties, their sales, and purchases as well, and giving a full sort of view of that mobs, or the livestock or the property, and so that full accounting, that livestock accounting as well, which is really, really cool. We pump out reports on livestock, full farm reports, multi-farm reports for enterprise clients, and so on.
Sorry, Jock, just jumping in the middle. I just wanted to check in on that data capture side. So are we talking about sort of data entry or uploads or system kind of integration? Like where's the data coming from?
Yeah, so we're the ground source of data. So Mobble is the ground source of the farm's data, and the way Mobble works is you have, everyone in the farming team has access to Mobble, and they have this on their phone or on the computer. A lot of the work's done on the mobile phone. This works online or offline, and they're updating this information manually as the ground source truth of their information. So when they're out in the paddock and they're doing a drench record, say in the yards, they're applying that drench record to these sheep, or they're moving these livestock to the next paddock. or whatever it is. And that sort of gives us the ground bed of like the data, and we can show the farmer in better ways to help them make better decisions.
Record, sorry, I'm not a livestocky person.
No worries. I've gone straight into like the technicalities of the software, which I always do.
Is the drench record coming from like a wand reader or a some sort of uploader, or is someone actually like typing in that sheep number 123 got 5 mils of drench?
Exactly. So, well, let's go straight into it. So these merino rams here, you select what happened to them, and you're selecting a product that you got assigned to them, and so on. So it is the ground truth of that data entry for the farmer. So that's an example there.
Thanks, Josh.
And
I've got it now.
No worries. Yeah. So we're recording information on mobs, paddocks, and the property as a whole. So in a mob, we have a complete history of a mob's information forever. And you can see here that this mob is actually in withhold. So that red dot that you saw before, it comes out of withhold on the 24th, and there's a vaccination action there that is causing that withhold, for an example. So yeah, it's a complete history on your mobs. It's a complete history on your paddock information as well. So all your spray records, etc., in there. Fertilizer records and stuff like that. So we are mainly focused on livestock, but you can do basic cropping records and stuff in there too. So it's great for mixed farmers as well. And we do have integrations with companies like AgWorld. If you're a large operation who does, a 50% cropping, 50% livestock, you can integrate these both platforms together to get the best out of both worlds. And other core features around Mobble, so at livestock management, then we've got things like grazing management as well. So we're recording things like days rested and DC per hectare or stocking rates per hectare on a paddock over time. So you can go into a paddock and you can see this core information. So we can see Lewis's here, or maybe Narrow. I'm trying to find a good example. It's all been set stocked for a long time, so not actually good examples. This has been set stocked for 162 days, but I'll just go into this more paddock information here. And you get that full paddock history forever. And we also are tracking sort of historic livestock over time on that paddock. We get some really cool reports on this data too. You can also get the sort of the DSE per hectare averages on a paddock over time. So this average here is a rolling 12-month average on the DSE per hectare, which is a stocking rate unit. And that sort of tells you the performance of that paddock over over a set period. And it's cool to have Cyber Labs on earlier, because they've got the other part of the equation, which is that food on offer or that dry matter calculation. If you combine those two together, you can really help with sort of those grazing management decisions. So it'd be great to be able to collaborate with Cyber Labs in the future, possibly to make this data richer as well. So all that grazing management sort of stuff there. It has full farm mapping. So Mobble is a full GIS system, really. You can map in nearly anything. So you can map in tasks. Say if you're seeing a weed location in the paddock, you can map that in. A hole in a fence, you can map that in. It's all really easy and intuitive to do. Out in the paddock, online or offline, it all works. And you can map that all in. You can also map in all your infrastructure, say your trough locations. You can map in pipelines even, which is great sort of database to have back on the farm assets as well. So my parents haven't mapped into many things, but you can see they've mapped in this silo here with 34 ton of barley in it at the moment. So that's the mapping side. And the beauty of the mapping side is because Mobble is a really collaborative place, you're inviting your whole farming team. So at home, we have my two brothers, my dad, a worker there, and myself, who's up there every now and then, and we all have access to this data and information on the go. So if you're sending someone out to do a job, they know exactly where it is, they know exactly what livestock's there, they know exactly where the infrastructure is they need to get to. So it becomes a really handy tool for employees, jackaroos, etc. Inventory management, we're recording information on all your inventories over time, so you can work out how much usage you've used a product over a certain time period. And back to compliance records, we're helping with all those compliance records there too. And back to the team management and communications, there's heaps of other things in Mobble that I won't go through today, like rainfall and summaries on all kinds of stuff. But one of the things I wanted to bring up today is Mobble is a very collaborative place. Not only the farming team you can invite to Mobble, you can also invite partners to collaborate with you. So third-party people like accountants, contractors, etc. And this was in this new initiative that we've got called Mobble Connect. And what Mobble Connect allows the farmer to do is to invite, say, their farm advisor to Mobble, and the farm advisor will get a certain view of Mobble, and the farm advisor will be able to give recommendations, etc., to their client in Mobble as well, or at least get access to the map and see where things are going and see how things are tracking for the farm. Also, we've sort of opened this up even further. You can also invite contractors to Mobble. So say a spray contractor needs access to a map to know where they're sort of spraying a paddock or fertilizing a paddock. You can assign them tasks and they get like this view-only, map-only access, which is really powerful for that too. So no more printing out maps or anything like that. Accountant access too for sales, records, and livestock reconciliation piece as well. And you also put your livestock agent in there. Also, your auditor. So it's this full collaborative piece. So we're trying to become this central place for all farm data communication there as well. And going forward with that initiative, we're starting to work on a lot of integrations as well. So one of our first integrations was AgWorld, which is a crop management system. We're opening up now ways that people can push data into Mobble. So I've got talks with companies like Optiway, FarmBot, Farmo, and pushing that data towards Mobble, that central place for that farm data communication. I won't take up too much of your time, so I'll wrap it up for questions in a second. I will just say that all farmers get a 21-day free trial of Mobble, and the support is just the best. Like, our support team is just so knowledgeable, so passionate about our product. And yeah, it's very easy to contact them. Our phone is always on the go, that number right there. You'd nearly always be able to get someone. I think a few of them come down with the flu today. It's a bit harder today, so it might get me on the phone actually. But yeah, this contact information here is second to none in support. So if you have any questions, reach out. 21-day free trial up the top right here of the website. Give it a bit of a crack. And if you're a collaborator with a farmer or an advisor or a third party, I bet you have heaps of clients that already use Mobble, and you can ask if they use Mobble and ask for that access as well. So yeah, that's sort of Mobble in a really tight nutshell, off the cuff presentation. So I'll open up for questions.
That's a great walkthrough. Thank you, Jock. I might just circle us back to the drought resilience thinking quickly, and then we'll get into some other features because there's a ton of stuff I'd love to talk through. But if you're advising a potential customer today and they're a bit worried about an upcoming, not just a dry season, but a dry period, what are some of the key features you'd sort of guide them towards in terms of improving their drought resilience?
Yeah, for this, once Mobble gets more powerful over time, the more you use it, you get this backlog of data of the years of how things have progressed over time. So you will get an understanding of how your property performs and sort of benchmark your property of how much sort of stock you can manage and stuff like that. So when you're planning for a dry spell or a dry spell hits, you can sort of look at that historic records and sort of work out a plan with your farm advisor, within Mobble if you like as well, of how to best tackle that dry spell. You can also set up things like containment blocks in Mobble and stuff like that, and we're recording things like feed records as well and feeding on livestock. So things like that become more relevant when in a drought. So you see those but the usage of Mobble changes slightly. It's less about grazing management because there's less grass. It's more about managing the livestock through that dry spell and making sure at the other end you can take advantage of the good times. So
yeah, excellent. And sorry, I know there's a ton of features there, but it's linking those progeny records, is it? So you can understand, for example, which user, delivering above and
Yeah.
beyond, or
It's a
you know,
great.
if you make destocking choices, does it link down to individual animal records?
Yeah, so Mobble in its name is a mob-based system. We don't link down to individuals ourselves. So we work really well alongside your Gallagher's and your True Test and things like that. And we are in talks with Gallagher and True Test about integrating together. So you can at least get that information into Mobble, but we don't analyze it for the farmer. The farmer will analyze it themselves within the True Test, Gallagher, or spreadsheet systems, but or their own fundamental stuff. But we think, so we're more like, we think we focus on what we're good at, and other companies focus on what they're good at. We get a better picture.
No, I can see, and you've got that
mindset
around integration, which is what we love
in
ag. So, Vim, any burning questions?
Amazing. Yeah, Wendy, we'll have to chat and talk about how we can integrate with Cyber Labs in the future or sometime soon.
Yeah, great, Jock. Yeah, welcome those discussions, definitely.
Yeah, it's another good perspective, isn't it? Yeah, it's really great. And connecting in those advisors and having that sort of access to records and chat and job planning, and I think that's really, really smart thinking. So
and on a sort of where our target market or the farms that find use, it really is it is varied. Like you can get people with under 100 livestock all the way through to hundreds of thousands of livestock, getting a lot of value out of Mobble. It's because it's so basic and easy to use. It's a really good starting point as well for small producers all the way to enterprise. So
Can I ask a broader question, which might be Jock and or Wendy? When producers engage with any software that requires that first stage of property mapping and defining paddocks and boundaries, does that translate? So let's say that they've started years ago with a product that they no longer love, and then they want to move to another solution. Is it a start again thing, or is there anything uploadable?
From our side, we help the farmer get their, like, say, an old farm map uploaded for them. So just the experience is you start a trial Mobble, you send through a farm map if you have one. If you don't, you map it out manually, and we'll just pump that map in and it just appears and they can get going straight away. It'd be similar with Cyber Labs. They'll be able to download them that KML file from Mobble and send it to Cyber Labs, I'd imagine, and Cyber could get those records for them.
Definitely from Cyber Labs' perspective, we definitely are able to work with producers, and one of the new initiatives that we're currently building in our latest update is actually providing a platform service that allows the user to actually map in as well. So we offer some paid mapping services for the more complex component if producers don't have previous electronic software components, but a lot of the time they do. As you say, they've trialed or found some other software from years ago that they may not have continued, and so it's just about understanding what format that map is, and then we work with them to be able to get the right format to be able to go directly into our system. And
when did that? They'll be able to map it out and free from Mobble during their trial, and they could give it a go, don't they?
So really happy. So those alignments and synergies certainly exist with companies like Mobble to be able to help support each other and support the clients to be able to.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's just we don't want to. Any barriers we can reduce in terms of that initial sort of frustration and I've done this before, and
exactly.
We've all been in that circumstance. So definitely, and they're supported all the way through for ours as well. Just like Jock said in his client support, it's just about having those initial conversations if there's any little sticky areas, and we all work through it and make that process seamless.
Fantastic.